Good afternoon, and I want to share some information with you. Today, we had an unfortunate situation in the Ritenour School District. We had a student who reported some information to a school district, and it eventually went to the Courage to Report, where we received the information. We acted on it quickly, and with the response from our local police departments, we were able to resolve the situation peacefully, safely. There were no shots fired. The student was apprehended, but again, I want to just say how important it is for us to collaborate as a community with our law enforcement and how important it is for our students to speak up and keep everyone safe. Thank you.
My name is Captain Randy Von Cloten with Breckenridge Hills Police Department. Currently, it's still an ongoing investigation and developing, so I'm limited what I can say, but I will verify, a subject was taken into custody and a firearm was seized, no shots fired, and no one was injured.
So our focus in the Ritenour School District is focusing on teaching and learning, and unfortunately situations like this take 100% of our attention, create a level of fear, a level of anxiety in the community. And that's why we work so closely with our law enforcement partners, the St. Anne Police Department, the Breckenridge Hills Police Department, the Overland Police Department, the St. John Police Department, and all of our partners so that we can get back to the business of teaching and learning. We have become quite adept at getting to the bottom of these threats. And from the time that we became aware of the threat to the time that the former student was apprehended was 24 minutes. And that is an absolute credit to our administrators, to our crisis team, and to our local law enforcement first responders. We certainly don't want any student to experience what our former student experienced today, but we don't want this community to experience this situation any further. This is a situation that we absolutely cannot deal with alone, and I want to say thank you to this community. Our community has moved towards reporting to the various tip lines, whether it be our Ritenour School District Safe Line or this situation today, the Missouri State Highway Patrol Courage to Report line. And again, 24 minutes from the time that the online threat was received to the time that the threat was reduced to the point where the former student was apprehended. This is not something that we should become so adept at dealing with, but we're willing to do whatever it takes to keep our students and our community safe. Thank you.
So at this time, we can open up to any questions for anyone here.
I guess what essentially happened? Where was the student spotted? Where was he taken into custody, and how did that all unfold?
So again, the threat was forwarded to us by a current student, and then we received the Courage to Report tip. It turned out that the student was located in the parking lot of a school, and then at that point, our law enforcement partners were able to intervene. The principal of the school, we have a process in place where we hold in place as necessary, and the principal implemented that process to ensure that every student was safe. The student happened to be in the parking lot in a car and was then apprehended not far away from there.
And this was not a Ritenour student, or was it a Ritenour student?
This was a former Ritenour student.
Former Ritenour student attending school somewhere else?
Yes, sir.
Currently.
Yes, sir.
Any idea what his intent was?
We don't know. We never know, and we always have to assume the worst. That's how we keep students and staff and community safe. So we don't spend time trying to get to the bottom and trying to get at perception. We always assume that people intend the worst, and we have to be prepared for anything at any time, and that has proven successful to this point.
Can you speak to the threat? What was it directed at an individual or sent to an individual? Was it posted somewhere publicly?
No, it was not directed at a specific individual. This threat, like many threats, are posted publicly, and I want to thank our students that saw it. They saw it out on social media. We had a number of students that came directly forward and notified administrators, and then we received that Courage to Report tip line that allowed us to reach out to law enforcement.
Is this student connected to any of the threats made last week?
No, there was no connection to what we worked through last week.
We've seen a lot of different threats in our area toward different schools. How hard is it for students, and even their parents, sending them off to school knowing, you know, these threats have been more common, especially in the last couple weeks?
I'll share my perspective, and then I'll turn it over to other members of the crisis team that are here on the panel. From my perspective, it's extremely difficult. This is a caring community. We have caring families, and I hear each day the level of concern that people have for their children as they come to school. This is a concern in the Ritenour School District. This is a concern in the state of Missouri. This is a concern nationwide. And I just wonder at what point can we all commit to having a better reality for our students? Because to this point, looking back to last week and then the way that we're starting this week, we have certainly not been able to enact that here in the Ritenour School District. But I will say that working with the community and the way that this community has shifted, moving away from boosting these threats on social media and then instead getting to points where we can do something about it, these various tip lines, our community has shifted because our community is tired. And we are working together with our community. And in every one of these situations, we've been successful at figuring out where these threats are coming from and working to eliminate them. Turn it over to some members of the crisis team.
So this is a great example here of collaboration that took place to really provide problem solving. And at the end of the day, we'll work collaboratively with Ritenour School District and law enforcement officials to ensure that the investigation is complete. I do want to go back to one thing Dr. Kilbride said. This really, the community really showed here that we're tired of the threats that are taking place. And at the end of the day, we have to be able to really become salient, these threats, and to be problem solvers at the end of the day regarding when they come.
From police, could we get a more detailed timeline and where the student was found at, which school? Is that possible?
Okay, go ahead, Chief. I'm not a chief.
After the initial call was put out, officers responded from multiple jurisdictions, and quickly he was apprehended about a block away.
What time did that happen, and which school was it at?
It was at the Husky Academy. Time was about 1:30 to 2 p.m.
How did the student get the gun, and are there going to be any adults charged?
I don't have any of that information.
How old was the subject?
I do not have that information either, other than he was a juvenile.
What are the potential charges the juvenile faces?
Possibly some weapon charges. That'll be handled through the juvenile justice system.
Were students and faculty at the school at the time?
I can answer that.
Yep.
Students and faculty were at school at that time, and that's when they went down or they got away from the windows and the other areas at that point. They were there. And I want to go back to a question you said about how is this affecting staff and students. They're exhausted. In order to learn, you need to have a healthy mind, healthy brain, and not to have safety always on your mind. And right now, because of a lot of these threats, we are constantly worried about safety and putting things in place to make sure that people feel comfortable. But again, we all need to work together, and we need our community's help as well.
The firearm seized, what type was it, and was it fully loaded?
I don't have any of that information, other than it was a loaded firearm. St. Anne Police is handling the referral to juvenile court.
Do you know if it was a rifle or a handgun?
It was a handgun.
Did he have more than one magazine handy?
I believe there was only the one.
One that was in, not additional?
Correct.
I know this threat was on social media to begin with. I just maybe talking about how students can report this, you know, what they need to do if they do see something like this. Just maybe kind of going over that for anybody watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, our students are watching, our families are watching, and this community has shifted away from boosting it on Instagram, pushing it out on community pages on Facebook. Courage to Report, the Courage to Report tip line is always a good option. Picking up the phone and calling one of our schools to report a threat is a great option. And we also have the Ritenour School District Safe Line, which is on the front of our website. So again, those are the problem-solving channels. Social media, unfortunately, is a place for venting and boosting. And again, want to credit the community for moving beyond boosting and venting and getting to problem-solving.
Are you guys looking to see if this is connected to the Ladue bomb threat earlier today, or is that something you are investigating?
No, we have not had a conversation. The unfortunate reality is there are 2 incidents in 2 school districts that are about 4.5 miles apart. We stay in close communication, but I will tell you that school districts, we are focused on keeping our children safe here in the district, just as they are in the Ladue School District. If there would have been any indication of any kind of carryover, then absolutely we pick up the phone and we talk.
While these threats never came to fruition, thankfully, this is still going to affect the students, right?
Yes, and any day, and I go back to Dr. Julie Hahn's point about students and staff being tired. It's exhausting. We're in the 2nd month of school, and at the end of the day, students and staff are tired, parents are tired because of where we are now in 2024. And so truly understanding the sense of urgency and being able to eliminate these threats and ensuring that they don't perpetuate, they don't continue by using Courage to Report, by contacting school, and standing up and being a true champion of the community and of schools.
And he was not a current student in the district at all, correct?
He was not a current student. He's not a current student in the district.
Thank you. Did he move, or was he kicked out of the school for disciplinary reasons or something? Is that something you can speak to? Okay. Sure.
Yeah, so question, we're not able to share a whole lot of private information about the student in keeping with FERPA.
Okay.
And were the threats directed at Ritenour High School, Husky, or both?
So on the specific threat, there was a pin that said Ritenour High School. There was no specific date. There was no specific other language other than there was an image and there was Ritenour High School in the post.
So he was found in his car and then apprehended at Husky Academy?
No, officers, when they were going to approach him, he took off running. Officers converged in the area and apprehended him about a block away.
Okay.
Was the handgun on his possession at this time, or did he ditch it?
He had ditched it and it was recovered.
Was he in a car? Was he in,
Like prior,
like when you guys got there? When the officers arrived?
I believe prior, or when they initially went to make contact with him, he was inside the vehicle. Then he fled from the vehicle as police approached.
Were you able to say how old he is?
no.
He's a juvenile.
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 Any more questions? Thank you all for being here. If anyone needs to do any one-on-one, I don't know if you want to have time to do one-on-one interviews, but if you'd like to do any one-on-one interviews, just let us know and we can facilitate that as well.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
Give his
Oh,
name,
yeah,
his
absolutely,
name.
yeah, and Dr. Mack.
So Dr. Michael Mack, Superintendent of Special School District.
And it's on your name tag, but can you spell it just?
Sure. Michael, of course, M-I-C-H-A-L, and then Macklin, M-A-C-L-I-N. Dr. Michael Macklin.
Is there going to be counseling too for the students or families who need it after this?
Absolutely. We always have counseling available, and particularly in situations like this, we want to make sure we have additional counselors available. Good question.
I know you guys are closing, but I do want to say that in many instances across this country, it's not always successful. And this was a time where, because of individuals who stood up to do the right thing and took a stand and said that we are tired of this, and so today we are here because of a success, and so we appreciate those pieces.